Hey everybody, I'm beginning my March reading vlog. Today's Saturday, March 6th, and welcome. March has been off to a weird start so far. I got really sick a couple days ago, and I think it was like a stomach flu kind of thing, and I'm still kind of recuperating. My stomach is still kind of questionable. So I'm trying to just rest today, and um, yeah, this weekend is just mostly about resting because next weekend's gonna be super busy. Next weekend, my brother's getting married, so we have his rehearsal lunch on Saturday and then his wedding on Sunday. So, really excited for that. And yeah, it's just a really busy month. So, this first half of month, I have not done much reading. I am behind from my February plans, so I will be starting with sitting down to finish All the Light We Cannot See, and I definitely want to finish it this weekend. So as soon as I stop talking to you, I'm going to start reading it. But going to finish this. Melissa from Libraries and Labradors was buddy reading this with me. She's long since finished it. I'm finally going to finish it. I've just been very, very busy so far in the last couple weeks. So I will finish that first, and then I will pick up where I left off with the Brothers Karamazov. We have a live stream next Thursday for the next section. So that is my plan so far. I've also started Echo on audiobook in honor of middle grade March. I do want to get some middle grade books read this month, so I started Echo by Pam Munoz Ryan, and it's so good so far. I am impressed with the themes, and the audiobook has some music in it. There's a harmonica that is sort of like a character in the book, and I really like the way they've done the audiobook. The audiobook also has like a couple of different narrators, I think, so that's really neat too. A lot of thought went into the audiobook, so I always appreciate that. I have a hard time with audiobooks where it's just a person like straight reading the book. It's much nicer when there's some like more like character involved and music and more acting in it. So it's going really well. Really like it. It's World War II, and the themes that it's dealing with so far are very complex. I'm especially impressed with like the family dynamics at the moment in the book, and also with the struggles of the main character. The main character has a birthmark on his face, which he has to deal with as a kid, and having other people make fun of him, and people just don't understand, especially back then. And then you add the whole like German Aryan pure race issues of the time, and it's just very complex, I think, for a middle grade. So I'm really loving Echo. I think it's gonna be a great book. There's also a bit of a fairy tale spin in it. Really like it so far. And with all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and start reading All the Light We Cannot See. Later today, I'm gonna watch some Spanish episodes of Destinos, which is like a Spanish language learning TV show. I'm watching it with some friends who are learning Spanish with me, Angie and Rainey, and I think Christy will watch this with us too. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. Julio is out at a rehearsal for his band, or I think they're looking for a bass player, and I think they were like auditioning someone for the bass player, or something like that. I don't know. He's not here. That's all I know. He's out. I'm here. I'm gonna read because I have a nice quiet house. Hey guys, today is Monday, March 8th, and I just finished working for the day and did some errands and things. And also wanted to let you know that over the weekend I finished All the Light We Cannot See. Finally finished this book. Took me way longer than it needed to. I think I should not read multiple books. I think that's the problem. If I just read one book at a time, maybe two with an audiobook going, but I think I just need to focus on one book at a time and not try to balance multiple books. I think that's what kind of killed me last month. So finally finished this one, and I loved it. It is maybe one of my new favorite World War II historical fiction novels. I think I liked it a little bit more than the buddy read group that I was reading it with. I know Melissa gave it like 3.5 stars, and for me, I'm giving this 5 stars. And I think I liked it too because it's a little bit more literary fiction, historical fiction. It's definitely more on the lit fic side, which I tend to really enjoy literary fiction. So I think if you're a literary fiction reader and you're more comfortable in that genre, I think this will be up your alley. But I can totally see the criticisms of people who have not liked this as much. But I personally thought this was fantastic. I think what I really loved about this book was that it doesn't try to put any rose-colored glasses. Our main characters, just the way everything wraps up with them, I think you really do get the impression that they are broken by the war, and it's super sad. It's not necessarily a happy ending kind of book, of course, because of the subject material as well. But I felt that it was incredibly gritty and realistic in its portrayal of what war does to people, how it affects the rest of their lives. And this book just really shows how it's almost impossible to break free of the war. Even many years later, it's going to affect your life in ways that you wouldn't have even predicted. So I just really liked this book. It was a lot of food for thought. It was a lot to chew on. The writing style is gorgeous, and I just loved everything about how it was put together. And I did cry. I did cry at the end. So really enjoyed this book. 5 stars. I say enjoyed, but it made me cry. So I'm not sure if enjoyed is the right word. But I should say it hit me. It very much hit me in my heart, in my soul. And so I think this is a 5-star book for me. Haven't yet made more progress through The Brothers Karamazov, but that is my priority this week. I realized I thought that I had a live stream this week for this book, but actually it's next Thursday. So thank goodness I have a little more time, because I was freaking out a little bit trying to read this next section in like 3 days. Yeah, I don't think I could do it unless I just didn't work for a day. That's not an option. I cannot take off work. Hi, lovely people. I'm driving home from the second gig I've had in the past year of COVID. I had an outdoor gig playing flute and cello, so I was playing with a friend. It was for like this ceremony at this like fancy mansion. So I just finished, and it went well, but it was freezing. Oh my gosh, I can't feel my toes right now. I don't even know if I have toes. I can't feel them. I hope they're still there. It was so cold. It was cold and a little bit windy, and oh, I'm freezing. So I'm just trying to defrost right now, and then we have a busy Saturday after this. I am rushing home to go pick up Julio, and we are going to my brother's wedding rehearsal / wedding rehearsal lunch in like 45 minutes away from here. So I am off, busy, haven't been reading, have had a lot going on, and yeah, it's been a lovely Saturday. It was really beautiful up here. I'm just freezing. I will update you again when I do some reading. I have done barely any reading. Just been balancing a lot. So yeah, I do need to read some more Brothers Karamazov, and I will, because I have the live stream this week, so I have to. So Brothers Karamazov, and then we'll see what the rest of the month has. But time to drive home and go grab Julio, and then head to my brother's wedding rehearsal. Hi everybody, today is Saturday morning, March 20th, and I'm up super early for a Saturday. And the reason is because we are having our new bed delivered. We, with our tax refund, decided to get a new bed. What is the noise that's going on behind me? Hey, Dusty, no! My dog is trying to eat cat poop out of the kitty litter, so that was lovely. Anyways, we got a new bed with our tax refunds, and we're so excited. Our bed sucks currently. We have a horrible bed. Like, we have back pain from our bed. And so we are so excited. We're getting a new bed. And it's like the most adulting thing I have done ever in my life is buy a like brand new fancy bed. It like has a remote control that like you can like elevate your head and your feet. So it's apparently like healthier to sleep that way or whatever. But it's fancy. I've never had a bed that had a remote control. So it is arriving this morning. I'm up early. Julio went out with a friend to go to the desert a little bit in more inland. We live in the desert basically, but he went more inland towards the desert because they're going to shoot targets. That's a cattail. It's a hobby that he shares with his friend. So they are going shooting out in the desert and shooting some targets and stuff. Julio bought shaving cream so that he could like shoot it and the shaving cream will explode or something. I don't know. These are all boy things that I don't know anything about. But then I also want to show you my new camera. I also got a new camera. I've been saving up for this for years, probably. Just been stashing away money for a actual nice camera, so I'm not going to be using my phone anymore. However, like a dummy, I didn't buy an SD card. So I ordered an SD card yesterday, and I think it might actually arrive today. It was supposed to arrive Sunday, but then it said it might arrive early. So we'll see if it gets here today. I kind of opened the box, so it doesn't look super neat at the moment, but let me see if I can, pick it up. I got the Canon M50, which is like the one that a lot of people have, and like vloggers and YouTubers and stuff. I just forgot to buy an SD card because I'm smart. So hopefully my SD card will get here today and then I can try out my camera for the first time. I have started Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I really want to do actual reading this weekend. I had no time at all last weekend to read, and weekdays are just hard for me to read as well. I just don't have the mental capacity or the focus usually after work to read a whole lot. So I'm going to be starting that, and I read the first chapter of Miss Peregrine's, and it was terrifying, and it definitely has horror elements to it. I shouldn't have read it before bed because I was like legit thinking about it before bed, and it was kind of scary. I was like imagining monsters and stuff outside my house. So maybe I shouldn't read it before bed, but reading it in the daylight should be fine. So I intend to, once my bed arrives and that's all taken care of, I want to dive into that book some more. Hey guys, so yesterday I got my Moderna shot, the second vaccine, and I feel not good. It started last night with like fever and chills, and it has continued into today. I am very achy and I have had a headache all day and just feel just overall not great. So I got through the workday somehow. It was rough. It was not the best Friday, not the best way to end the week, but I attempted to finish Miss Peregrine's last night. Didn't quite finish. I have like a few more pages, but I don't think anything revolutionary is going to happen in the last few pages that's going to like change my mind about this book, but I'm sitting at like maybe a 3-star. It didn't blow me away, and I'm not feeling very compelled to continue with the series. I think what doesn't work for me is, first of all, the story does feel a bit forced, with the pictures and then trying to make a story go with the pictures. It just doesn't quite work, in my opinion. Also, it gets kind of, I don't know, it gets like over the top gory and graphic at the end. It's definitely playing on like more horror elements, but the rest of the book reads kind of young. Like, it reads kind of young YA to me. And to have those, like, very gory, graphic horror scenes didn't really fit for, I feel like, the audience that's gonna be reading this. It was, like, over the top for that audience. I don't know. I just felt like this missed the mark in several ways. I think it had kind of a cool idea, but I just don't think it was done flawlessly. I'll be curious to see what Laura has to say about it, because I know she's rereading this. And I think I want to hear some other opinions on it. But I'm thinking 3-star. It held my attention a lot of the time. It wasn't an unpleasant read completely, but it also wasn't really revolutionary. And I felt like the plot had some kind of large holes. Also, there was like a lot of info dumping throughout the book, where characters just kind of go on about how something works that we've never seen before, and we don't really have like a good context for. So I don't know, it just felt like a bit of a mess. That being said, it is kind of a fun read. I can see the appeal. It's got definitely like a dark horror, creepy children, creepy vibe kind of feel. So if you're into that kind of thing, this might work for you. For me, it was just flawed in some ways, and I don't think I'm going to continue with the series, but I gave it a go. So tomorrow happens to be my birthday, and I'm hoping I feel a little better, because Julio has planned a day out. I think we're going to go to Los Angeles and visit some cool places, places that are open. We'll probably be like walking around outside mostly, but I think we're going to visit the last bookstore in Los Angeles, which I'll definitely be vlogging a bit once I'm there and taking you along, because it's a really cool bookstore. It's like probably our most famous bookstore here in Southern California. It's fairly famous. So I think we're going to go over there, and I'm going to buy some more books. Not that I need any, but I'm going to buy some more books as a birthday treat. I'm just hoping I feel a little better. I feel kind of icky, so I'm going to just like rest the rest of the night. And then my mom and my stepdad are going to come out on Sunday, and then I have like a violin studio recital on Sunday afternoon, so it is a busy weekend. I'll try to bring you along for some of it, but I'll be fairly busy. I probably won't read very much. If I do read, I'll be going back to Brothers Karamazov and trying to catch up and finish the book for our final live stream next week. Whew, crazy. We're going to finish that book up. So that's probably all I will read for the rest of March. But I will take you along on any bookish bookstore adventures tomorrow. Hey everybody, it's been a few days, well, more than that, 4 days, 5 days since my last update. Today is the last day of March. It's March 31st. I am having quite a time with life and work. This is my last week before spring break, and it is insanity. I don't know why everyone needs everything, and everyone needs everything done right now before we go on spring break. But that's what's happening, and so I have been swamped. I'm desperately trying to finish Brothers Karamazov today. I think I'm going to do it, but it's just been insanity. I have finished a book that I forgot I was reading. I totally forgot that I was reading Echo by Pam Munoz-Ryan. And so I thought I would update you. I did finish it on audio while I was working on stuff until 2 in the morning the other night. At least I had an audiobook to keep me company while I worked. It's been truly crazy. But I did finish it, and this was a book that I really thought I was going to love, and it wasn't quite, it wasn't quite magical enough for me. The stories were, okay, I should back up for a second. There are multiple perspectives in this book. There are multiple children that we follow. They are all sort of tied together through this harmonica. There's a little bit of a magic element to it. There's a fairy tale aspect of it. And it has all the makings of something I should like. The audiobook is done spectacularly. I think this is one of those rare books that if you are not reading the audiobook, I think you're actually missing out on something key, because the audiobook is an experience. It has a lot of music throughout it. I think if you're listening to it with kids, it would be a great educational reading experience, because you could explore a lot of the music that is all throughout the book, and the music is also like tied to things that are happening, or like folk music. Culturally, the music ties in well. So I thought that aspect of it was great, but the stories just weren't very cohesive to me. I didn't quite see how they worked all together. I felt like they were rushed at the end. And the author did this weird thing where she liked to bring you along during a story and then do a sudden cliffhanger and then automatically switch to another story. And that was a bit jarring. In fact, there was the first time that happened, I honestly thought my audiobook app was glitching because I use Scribd, and I thought maybe Scribd had just opened a random book and started playing it, and I was like, oh, something happened. And then I looked at my phone, and no, it was still the same story, but suddenly, without any warning or transition at all, I was listening to a new perspective, a new story, a new narrator. So it was really confusing. I didn't like how that was done. Maybe it makes more sense if you read a physical copy. I think that could be a little jarring as far as like listening to it. At least when you're reading, sometimes there's like a clue that you're going to a new part of the book, or it'll say like part 2 or part 3. The audiobook didn't do that. It just threw you into a new story, and then you're like, wait, what happened to the other characters I was just following? So that didn't work for me. I'm giving it 4 stars. I think the stories for me are 3 stars, but the audiobook is 4 stars. So I'm somewhere in the middle. I know I don't like to give half stars, and I usually don't, but maybe 3.5. I don't often do half stars, but this book might require me to do that because I'm a little bit torn. So I did finish Echo. This is the one and only middle grade book that I finished in March. It's okay. It is what it is. I've been extremely busy, and it's just getting worse this week. So it is what it is. No more middle grade will be read. But at least I read one. So technically I participated in middle grade March. I'm going to finish this tonight. I have nothing on the agenda for the rest of the day other than to read this book. I have maybe 150 pages left. I will try to update you if I finish it at a decent hour. I don't know how I'm going to wrap up my thoughts on this. I don't know. There's just so much. There's so much we could talk about with this book. We'll see. We'll see. It's such a weird thing because I'm not loving the experience of reading this book, but I also at the same time I understand why it's so revered and why this is a lot of people's favorite classic. I get it, but maybe me and this book, we're just meeting at the wrong time. I think that could be it, especially because I'm a bit stressed out right now, and maybe the brothers Karamazov and I just need some more time together. Not sure I love it on this first read. We'll see how it all wraps up and how it all makes sense together. Okay, time to read. Evelyn says hi. Okay, time to read. Hi guys, it is Thursday. This week has been ridiculous. My work life is like exploded and I have like so much on my plate. Luckily, next week is spring break, but I'm totally gonna be working through my spring break on certain projects. This is just the life of a teacher. A break is not really a break. It's just time to work on stuff that you're behind on, basically. There's just a lot. So I was up very late finishing Brothers Karamazov, and we just finished our live stream 10 minutes ago. And then I realized that I had never finished this vlog, and I haven't posted a video in almost 2 weeks. So that's how my life's going. But I did finish this late last night. My thoughts I got to express a little bit in the live stream, and so if you've been following along, you already know kind of what I thought about this book ultimately. I have a bit of a disconnect between not enjoying this book, but also like enjoying it intellectually, but not in any other way. Like I felt like I had to force myself through this book a bit. I'm so glad that I read it with my wonderful read-along group with Una and Crypto and Peg and Christy. They got me through this book. I probably would have given it up on it way beforehand if not for them. So that is honestly something that's so great about BookTube, is that there are people reading classic literature that you may not have gotten through, or you may not have touched with a 10-foot pole before. I think I would have picked it up, but I don't think I would have finished. I think I would have given up at a few points. There are a few points when I felt like giving up. And for me, the ending of this book doesn't quite redeem it for me. It felt a little bit anticlimactic. I felt like some of the more climactic parts were earlier in the book, and the ending felt unfinished. Peg was saying how it feels a little bit incomplete to her, and I think I'm gonna have to agree. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I understand that this book is a wonderful feat of literature, and it's doing so many amazing things. It's having so many amazing conversations, and the way it's crafted, like this, there's brilliance in this book, absolutely. But I just didn't personally feel like picking it up. I didn't feel like reading it a lot of the time. So I feel like intellectually, I understand why this book is revered, and I see the brilliance of a lot of it. But in my heart, it just hurt my heart a little bit having to read this book. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I have to land on 3 stars because I'm like so middle of the road with it. While I don't see myself revisiting this anytime soon, I do think I could have a completely different perspective if I do revisit it. So while I don't know when that time and place would be for me to read it again, I'm not writing it off completely. That being said, I'm glad I've read it. I'm glad I have read a monumental work of fiction, and I understand. I'm glad I've had some time with Dostoevsky, but I feel like I need some more time to really delve into the parts that I didn't understand as much. I just feel like there were so many layers that I cannot get to, and that frustrates me a little bit. Maybe I feel slightly frustrated that I couldn't give it the attention that I think this book warrants. Even reading this book across 2 months felt like not enough time, and I think it's just one of those works that I can appreciate on an intellectual level, but I didn't enjoy reading. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with that. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of put behind some of these less enjoyable experiences. I hate to say that Brothers Karamazov was a less enjoyable experience reading wise, but just as it is right now, I didn't feel like reading it. So there you go. Take what you will from my discombobulated thoughts. I am very hungry. I am going to eat dinner and wrap up this vlog. So, thank you for watching if you've made it this far. I realized that I did read 4 things. I think I finished 4 books, which is great. I didn't think that I read that much in March, but it's probably because this took February and March, so it didn't feel like I read a lot, but I've just been reading like multiple things kind of slowly. So I think I have actually finished 4 books throughout this vlog. So that's better than I thought. I hope your March went okay. I hope you read some great books, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.